The next part about being explicit in your writing is actually to avoid tired words. What does it mean to avoid tired words? At the first place, what are tired words? Well, tired words are actually words that we use too frequently Can you think of some? Well, there are many that I'm sure your teachers have told you. The first very important one is said. We always say, my mother said this, my father said this, my teacher said this, said my mother, said my grandmother. It kind of becomes boring when we use too much said words, too many said words in a story. The other one will be walked or moved. Sometimes it's also eat or drink. Now these words, nouns or verbs that are too general do not give our readers much information. Let's try it out. Since we said that said is one of the most frequently used words, let's try to think about how we can better improve this word. What are some of the words that you can fill into the said blank and yet give an even better meaning? Can you think of any? I've thought of some. Asked. What are you cooking, Mom? Asked my sister. Instead of, what are you cooking, Mom? Said my sister. Come in the room now and clean up. Scolded my father. Sounds better than come into the room now and clean up, said my father. Screamed, your little sister screaming. Yelled, my teacher yelled at me. Shouted, we shouted for help, rather than we said help. That sounds boring. Cried, exclaimed, announced, uttered, guessed. These are very important words and very useful words that you can use to replace said. There are many, many more, and I'm sure you can think of more. If you can't, you can look up a thesaurus. They are definitely going to tell you more words. And make sure you use them. Try to own these words, use these words, so these words become yours, and your story will definitely become more beautiful. Let's look at this example here. This is a short story. Smells good. What are you cooking, Mom? Said Jean. Spaghetti, your favorite, said Mom. Yes, I hate spaghetti. Why must you cook that? Said John. Too bad for you, said Jean. If you look at this passage, although it is short, there are altogether 4 said words. How boring. This is what I mean by tired words. You keep reading the same word over and over again in a story. How can we improve on it? Let's see. Smells good. What are you cooking, Mom? Asked Jean. Look, the question mark. Jean is asking a question. Spaghetti, your favorite, answered Mom. Well, Mom is answering a question. Yes, I hate spaghetti. Why must you cook that? Complained John. This gives us the impression that John, probably the brother, is a complaining sort. And this is probably not the first time he's doing it. Too bad for you, teased Jean. Now Jean is probably the sister who likes to tease John. And that will make the story sound more interesting. If we decide to change, we can say something like, smells good. What are you cooking, Mom? Boomed Jean. Can we do that? Sure. This is how we'll read it. Smells good. What are you cooking, Mom? Boomed Jean. Jean is probably in a very foul mood. Spaghetti, your favorite, retorted Mom. Mom answered back, but in a very fierce way. She's probably not very happy with the way Jean asked the question.
Yes, I hate spaghetti. Why must you cook that?
Wailed John. Now John is doing a wail. What does that mean? He's probably throwing tantrums. Too bad for you, replied Jean. That will sound different. We're going to look at the other parts of descriptive language in a while.